Okay, so I'm going to switch to the browser. I did what any sensible human would do and checked my settings to make sure that I could actually record outside of a video game and have the thing right. And I made a cup of coffee because this may take me a second. All right, so let's get into it. Literally, their non-existent patch notes were just like mini spoilers for all of this. Apparently, it's so annoying. I wish they would just put it in the game or not. Okay, round length. All units had their health lowered by 25%. Health values are now 1.5 times the original values that they shipped the game with. Okay, so yeah, when Underlords dropped, everything had their health values doubled. It screwed with a lot of balance, and it changed the game from a 35-minute game to a 45-minute game. I know people have been griping about it like crazy. I kind of like the long games, but I play this like a I'm a PC gamer anyway. I just happen to be playing it on mobile. And, you know, when I can play it on a PC, I will probably only play it on a PC. So, okay, I'm fine with it. It is a game that can be played on mobile, and yeah, I mean, I'm okay with marketing or catering towards the mobile crowd. It's just fine. I hope they don't. I hope this is like all they did for the round length, because like knockout mode is a joke. It's so terrible. Like I haven't played it and made a video of it because it is a joke. I might, but honestly, I could play one game and it will be the shortest video I've ever posted. So I don't know. Okay, so standard and duos flow changes. Starting unit cap from 1 to 3. They removed neutral rounds. I guarantee it. Creep rounds have been removed. Okay, so this has been a giant circle jerk on Reddit forever. Nobody likes the creep rounds. And so, as a person who just made a statement of, I like the story of the game, I will straight up say the creep rounds felt weird. Right? They make no sense. Like, how are they in the game? Why is a criminal organization fighting these creeps? So I'm okay with that. The one thing I did like them for was they were like a power gauge. And I guess to be fair, it's a power gauge that doesn't really matter, because all that really matters is how you're doing versus other boards. But it was like a cool little metric where you could, between games, like if you were running the same build, which I do, you could kind of say, whoa, man, last game I destroyed the Thunder Hides, and this game I barely beat them. And it's kind of like this overall gauge. It was like a way to see how much your rolls, how much getting lucky with units really affected your power, which was a cool way to evaluate the overall strength of a build, outside of it wins this percent of the time or whatever. But it was kind of meaningless. So, whatever, okay. So players start with 5 gold. Interest is now capped at 3. Rewarded at a max of 30 gold. Round gold increases from 5 to 7. So this means you're still going to get 10 gold per round, but you're going to hit it at 30 instead of 50. So you're going to get more gold, basically always. You're going to get more gold early. It's really going to boost leveling fast. Because, I mean, like, that's... So, usually, you usually buy 2 levels before round 10. Start at 3 after the creep waves, which you're basically going to start there now. And then you would let 1 happen normally, and you'd buy 2. And one of them wouldn't happen until after the creep round finished. And then when you finished that, you'd still be sitting between 10 and 20 gold, depending on your game. That's basically going to go unchanged. But the difference now is I'm not even sure you push any higher than that. Like, because keep in mind, it's not like they just removed this gold from the game. You're just always getting it. Like, basically, you're always sitting at 30 gold compared to the old game. And so now you're having to ask yourself, do I even care? Is the extra 2 gold a round, which 2 gold is a reroll, but is that extra 2 gold a round worth fighting for? Because it's going to take you 2 or 3 rounds to get to the max. Like if you're sitting at 10, it's probably going to take you 2 rounds. And it might even take you 3 if you buy any units at all. Or 4, maybe. And in 4 rounds, like you're going to passively get the gold you need to level again. I'm not sure buying levels from surplus is going to be a thing until level 9. Because level 8 only costs you 25 gold. Right? Like I'm not sure you save to 55 gold to level. That's interesting. Okay. I mean that's interesting. It's going to be different at least. Items are granted every 5 rounds. Item quality doesn't change if you win or lose the round. Because before you had to win or lose the creep round. Again, it was kind of a weird thing, and certain alliances just died to certain creeps. It's really hard. So I'm okay with that. I actually am okay with that. Like winning or losing, changing the item quality, it kind of rewarded like it really just rewarded good luck. You could say it rewarded picking up strong units to fill your weaknesses early, but some alliances really don't want to do that. And so, having the item quality hurt you really just nerfs certain alliances. So I'm fine with that. Whatever. It makes sense. Underlords are selected at 10 or 2 for knockout. Okay. Higher tier units now deal more damage to enemy players at the end of a round. So this means you're getting gold sooner, you're going to level sooner, and you do more damage. Unit damage is now 1. It was 1 for every star. So it was just like 1, 2, or 3. Right? Yeah. Now it's 1 plus power level. And your power level is your tier dependent on your star. Okay, so now every unit just does 1 plus some number. And so those numbers are going to range depending on your unit tier. Okay. It's kind of a buff to good stuff. You're going to do more damage, but you still have to win the boards, I guess. So what does this range from? Like tier 1, your power levels are going to be 1, 3, 5, which means you're going to do 1 plus 1/3, 1 plus 1, and 1 plus 5/3. I don't know if the third stack. So if I have three tier 1 units at 1 star, they're all going to do 1 plus 1/3 damage. Now, is that 3 damage or is that 4 damage? In the old game, it would have been 3. Okay. Okay, so what is it at tier? What are ace damages? So it would be 5, 7, 9, which would be 1 plus 5/3. So almost 3 damage. 1 plus 7/3, which is 3 damage, plus a little bit. And 1 plus 3, so 4 damage. Is that right? 5, 6, 7, 7/3. 1, 2. Yeah, so it's 2 and a bit, 2 and 2/3, 3 and 1/3, 5. 4. Jesus. It ain't math. 5, 7, 9. 5 over 3 is 1. 7 over 3 is 2. And 9 over 3 is 3. So it's just 2, 3, 4. Plus whatever the extras are. Jeez, that was way harder than it had to be. Thank God I got a math major. I don't know. That's interesting. I'll have to play it to figure it out, I guess. If the numbers aren't truncated or rounded down, does it mean anything? So like certain alliances, like assassins, they tend to burst units down one at a time. Whereas other alliances like scrappies or mages tend to do AoE damage. And kind of everyone on the enemy team loses health. You know, you pick off units, that's true. Generally, your DPS units are going to be the ones actually killing things, and your main tanks are whittling the enemy down. But what it means is if it doesn't truncate, then any alliance that does that is going to take more damage overall, because those numbers rounded up will add up more. But I mean, I guess that's true anyway, because like assassins kill units, right? So you take less damage. It's okay, whatever. It's probably the same. General changes. Leaderboard has ranked knockout and ranked duos. Cool. You can view stats from previous rounds in the post-game scoreboard. I mean, you could always see your stats. Wonder if it has like a round-by-round scoreboard? That could be cool. Maybe. You have duo scoreboard. Awesome. Knockout, don't care. And knockout, balance change. Okay. Underlords. Underlords have changed based on community feedback. We read Reddit. I pray to God they thought about these changes, because Reddit is just... I love you, Reddit. Anybody watching me because of Reddit, please don't stop watching me. So you get the Underlord at 10. Fine. Underlords are streamlined in fighting styles, containing a core ability and an ultimate. Talent selection removed. Some talents have been merged into core abilities. Okay, and you have Underlord section below. Hype has been removed. Okay. The game officially has less hype. Core abilities start each round 50% cooldown remaining. Trigger for the first 4 seconds. Oh, okay. So they want your abilities to trigger early, but they wanted to have a longer cooldown between them. Okay, that's a simple fix. You just start everything at half cooldown. Cool. Doesn't matter. Ultimate ability cooldowns have been lowered. Cooldowns have been lowered? And their power level increased. I'm going to have to... I want to see what that changes, because Essex and Hobgen both had a good ultimate and a bad ultimate. And I mean, they had cooldowns in a way that it took X amount of time for the ability to trigger. I wonder if this means they can trigger twice. If so, I mean, surely not, because one of Hobgen's is just, I set myself on fire and silence myself and right-click things. But if you can use friendly fire, or if you can summon one of the big demons, or you can use enthrall, like for 3 of the 4 ultimates, this could be huge if you could use it twice. Surely not. Surely this just means it happens sooner and they're stronger. I hope. Okay, and Essex. Now, I played enough in Essex to unlock everything, but I will admit I did it in knockout mode so that I could do it in 3 hours instead of a day. Martyrs Boon. Essex takes 20% of her health. All allied units, I think including her, heal X hit points a second for the next 6 seconds. Cool. Cooldown lowered. Duration changed, so it's less. If you went the healing support style, okay, so she had a talent where it did like half the heal immediately. And if you go the damage, now you get attack damages. So that was a different talent she had. Okay. Pure pain removed. Awesome. Enthrall. This was ultimate, the bad one. An Essex marks the target for 5 seconds, reducing the target's armor by 5, forcing your army to attack it. If the target dies, an Essex brings him back as a demon to fight for her. Granted on the damage. Makes sense. Cooldown changed from 22 to 15. Okay, so the cooldown is 22 to 15, but it does say that everything starts with 50%, which means she's going to cast Enthrall at 7.5 seconds. And then it's got a 15-second cooldown, so that is 22. I think the fights last 30 seconds, which means she can use Enthrall twice. Okay. Same thing for the demon timing. Maybe the fights are shorter now, overall. So demonic golem goes with the healing style, which again makes sense, I guess. Crashing behind enemy lines and stunning every enemy within 2 cells for 2 seconds. So the demon golem gets the crash talent for free, basically, but maybe it only does it once. And I guess Enthrall is getting... I don't remember if the armor was part of it before. That might have been a talent too. Armor nerfed on the demon. Max health changed to go with an Essex's level, because before it was just a talent. It doubled the health. Fair enough. Oh, and because that's the other thing. They're going to have the ultimates at like level 1. Okay, cool. So explosive O, it's a fireball. Boom, there's your damage. High damage dealer fighting style. Doubles the effect of explosive O. Support damage. So you have a high DPS and a support DPS. Enemies are stunned. Okay. Supercharged is removed from the game. So you don't set your own things on fire anymore, which is just nice. I mean, like, Supercharged was a really cool idea when hype mattered. Kind of, sort of. Like, it really sucks to have an Underlord that actively makes his units, like, he gives your units a damage over time. Which is not a good design. Okay, so you're not supercharging people anymore. You do cast Explosive O. Is that how this was too? Yeah, it was just one ability. Okay. So let's go crazy. You can attack the whole battlefield. Good. Your entire army gains increased attack speed. So basically, you supercharge everything. You're the old version of supercharge everything. Hobgun will continually switch targets to units that are not on fire. That was there before. Let's Go Crazy is in the support damage dealer fighting style. No longer silences Hobgun. Thank you, Lord. Dear God. Okay, so we can pick Let's Go Crazy again. Thank you. Buffs everybody's attack speed. This is a huge help to Scrappies because they have problems doing damage. Oh, that's so good. Again, the cooldown kind of freaks me out. Like none of this happens on a timetable. I will be sad because it's going to happen at 5 seconds. Because the cooldown is 10 and you start with half. Is this right? Is this only on? Oh, okay. So it's only on core abilities. Okay. Dang it. I was so happy for a second there. So, but this is gonna. I mean, it's still gonna happen at 10 seconds into the fight. So you're gonna have a possible 20 seconds, assuming things don't die too fast. This could be really cool. Friendly fire, same thing, damage, but it's AoE and it's random, and it's from the high damage dealer. So, yeah. Uh, this is interesting. I like both Hobgons. I think I play. I mean, I don't. The thing is, I don't like Friendly Fire. I've never liked it. It was just that Let's Go Crazy was so terrible that it wasn't pickable. Um, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't think I have a choice. It's going to be whatever you get, but I feel like I can play with either and not care. You basically you're not really picking between support damage or high damage. You're picking between do you want Hobgan to do right click damage or spell damage? Basically. Okay, Jewel. Okay, shake it off. Jewel reflects 50% of melee damage taken back to all adjacent enemy units. So it's dispersion from Spectre, and heals for 30% of melee damage and 15% of rain damage taken over the last 5 seconds. Aggressive tank. Damage is delivered over time, but you do twice as much, which twice as much of half is 100%, but it takes 8 seconds for the damage to actually get applied out. Okay. Healing. Damage is also converted to healing split evenly to adjacent friendlies. Cooldown is 10 seconds. So I take it you cast the spell, and then it looks backwards in 5 seconds, backwards in time for the last 5 seconds what you've done. I think is the way that reads to me. That's cool. I mean, for the healing one, it says damage is also converted to healing split evenly to adjacent friendlies. And I kind of want to know, does that mean that Jewel heals for his amount and that same amount is split between friendlies? Or is it all of it is split? I assume it's both because it says also. But, okay, Barrels of Fun. Calls in barrels from the edge of the board. If they hit an ally, they gain attack speed. If they hit an enemy, they take damage and receive more damage. So, kind of like Underlord's Cinderbrew, kind of, plus a buff. Granted from the aggressive version, which is the damage over time. I wonder what the reflected damage is, if it's type that was dealt. Could be interesting. Happy Hour. Jewel buys a round for your army. While taking damage, 30% of it is received immediately. The rest is taken over 7 seconds, so it's Kunkka's Bow Round from Dota. And this is interesting. This is like... It's only 7 seconds, but it doesn't happen until 10 seconds in, so it ends at 17 seconds plus cast time. The battle's going to be mostly over anyway, and the thing about this is it will never hurt you except for maybe like a Demon Alliance. It can do weird things with silencing units that shouldn't get silenced. But it's basically always a buff, which it's supposed to be. It just doesn't feel good. Like, the reason the Kunkka Boat Rum always feels bad is because it doesn't actually change anything, right? You still take the damage you were going to take, but the important thing is it's made to be a damage over time, which means that healing kicks in. So you are taking less damage than you would have taken. If the damage would have killed you, it suddenly might not. Regardless, if the damage would have killed you, you still get X amount extra seconds to live. So that's cool. I think I like the healing version better. The thing about barrels that's going to be an issue is it says they come in from the edges of the board. So it's like spiders, which means they're probably going to have a travel time, which might be meaningless, but it might be very meaningful. 50 attack speed is huge. The other side to that, though, is, I mean, I presume the barrel, like, disappears. It hits something and then it's gone. So you are always going to have, like, there will be units that don't get hit at all. There are any of the units that dodge things normally, like Weaver, Storm Spirit, Morphling, could just not ever be affected, and that goes for allies or enemies. I don't know if they'll still break the barrel. I don't know how any of that'll work. I feel like Happy Hour, the Happy Hour, the healing tank is probably just the better version, but Shake It Off is good, and it's really good with aggressive tank. I mean, this Underlord, you really do. You put him in your front line. If you are running a tanky build like Warriors or something, you might not put him dead center, but he is going to be the only Underlord of the three that you say, I want him taking damage. Cooldown is 10 seconds, and that's his primary ability, which means it's going to happen at 5 seconds into the fight. For positioning, like, I mean, this is one of those things where you actually, if you're up against a lot of jewel boards, I think if you're running a melee board, you move everything back. You force there to be some walk time, even if it's just 1 second, because that is 1 second less damage that Shake It Off is going to reflect, or healing, or both. I guess both. That's cool. I mean, jewel sounds fun. I like it. I really do. Bots have been updated to work with the new hero rotation. They intelligently select their Underlord when the time comes. Okay, so bots basically do have built-in builds that they take. I don't think that their builds are... I don't think any bot plays what the game deals them. I think they do try to force builds, different bots, force different builds. Which just means that they're going to pick... Like, they've mathematically determined which heroes are built for, or which Underlord is best for which bot's build, and they rank them, and then it's going to pick the best one that's available, probably. Poor performing bot personalities have been redesigned for more stomping, which means that bot matches are going to be harder. Okay, hero rotation. So these guys are just gone until, I guess, the next season. So which ones do I care about? Which ones matter? Anti-Mage, I use. That means Assassin Elusives are dead. Arc Warden, okay. Enigma is an ace. Interesting. Lena and Luna. Luna? Rip Knights. So if you're Knights, you have to get CK or DK. And CK is, not a Luna. And DK is contested because of mages. Like, that hurt night builds bad. Wow. Magnus. Okay. Marana is Elusive Hunter. Nature's Prophet. Phantom Assassin. Templar Assassin. Frick. Okay, rip my Assassin build. Puck is out too. Techies is gone. And then Tidehunter is gone, and so is Wind Ranger. So, okay, so with Techies being out for Scrappies, what does this mean? It means that you cannot hit 4 Inventors with only Scrappies. That's important. Basically means if you want 4 Inventors, you have to pick up Snapfire or Gyro, which is fair. I think I don't think I forced 4 Inventors enough anyway. Part of that was because of the jail system, but with the 3 robots always in, I think Snapfire is a always pick. There's no reason not to have that alliance at 4. It will mean... Oh, Puck is gone. That means that Snapfire just melting everything in the universe is not going to happen so much early. Like, Viper's your pickup now to enable the Snapfire. Thank God. Maybe mages won't just snap grab every frickin' Snapfire and make my life hell. Oh, that's so nice. Okay. Okay, so what does Techies mean? Besides that, what does it mean for Scrappies? You're going to have Bounty Hunter, Weaver, Tinker, Timber, Clock. Alk is 6. Sniper is 7. 7. Which means there's 1 you can't pick there. I think if I force Scrappies, I'm still going to try Assassins, at least at first. So really, Bounty isn't cuttable. Keep in mind, I'm also going to have a 4th unit. Like, I need to be adding a Timber or a Snapfire in there. I mean, that's, if I go 6 Scrappies, that's 6 Scrappies and Snapfire / Gyro. That's 7 units. Have to hit 3 Assassins. And you won't be able to get... With Techies gone, it means that you can't get 6 Scrappies, 3 Assassins, 3 Bugs. You have to pick between the Bugs or the Assassins. And I think the choice there is Assassins all the way. You may pick up the Nyx because you will want the Weaver. And that means that at any point in time you can splash a Brood, you can splash a Sand King. Both are fine, and that's good. Broodmother is just good. I've really reversed my position on her. So that's fine. Okay. Assassins feel a little bad. I mean, they lost all 3 of their elusives. A lot of elusives that got out of here. Anti-Mage, Luna, Marana, Phantom, Puck, Templar, Wind Ranger. That's 7 elusives. Elusive is not a thing anymore. Wow, okay. Sure. Okay. So hero changes. Broodmother. Gold cost changed from 4 to 3. Wait a minute. Spin cost change. Okay, so let me look and see if this says anything about the... Because if their gold changed, that should mean that their tier has changed. Let me see, rulebook. Heroes. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so Broodmother went down a tier. Interesting. Max health nerfed accordingly. Cool. Clockwork went down to a tier 2, which means Clock and Timber are both tier 2 now. Attack rate dropped. Armor dropped. So I think that means he's going to have more comparable armor to Timbersaw. So armor is 8, 10, 12. Well, it would help if let's just make sure I got this right. Armor is 8, 10, 12, and then Timber is 6, 8, 10. Health is 12, 24, 48. Health is 12, 24, 48. Clockwork's just better. Timber does more damage. Clockwork is tankier. Okay. Damage, minimum, and max. So those are just changes because they lowered the cost. Legion Commander just went... Okay. As an example to show how bad Legion Commander is as a freaking unit. Broodmother and Clockwork both had their tier change just now, and these number changes, these balances, this is because they are a lower tier unit. Therefore, they need to be weaker because they are available earlier, they're a lower tier. Legion Commander just straight up drops the tier, no changes. Right? That tells you exactly how terrible of a unit Legion Commander is. And don't get me wrong, she has to be. Because of the way Legion Commander works, she has to always be bad. If Legion Commander ever feels good as a unit, she will be broken. So, that's funny. But I'm glad they recognized that fact and they didn't nerf her even further. Legion Commander is, for all intensive purposes, I call her a kitten-shaped cloud because her defense is basically wet paper, and that's about the damage she does. Imagine a kitten-shaped cloud hitting you in the face. That's what it feels like. Okay. Shadow Shaman changed from Troll Shaman to Troll Druid. Ick. Okay. There just are no shamans anymore, it looks like. Oh, they just straight up, they did remove elusive. They didn't just take the units out of the pool, they removed the alliance. Interesting. And they removed shaman. Okay, I'm fine with the shaman change. The elusive change is weird. They were the worst defensive alliance, but they were also probably the highest damage dealing. Like, if you built a defensive alliance, basically every unit you picked dealt damage. I mean, there's 3 assassins, 2 hunters, a dragon. I mean, that's interesting. Okay, whatever. Slark bumped from 3 to 4. Health goes up. Essence shift changes from 1, 2, 3 to 2, 3.5, 5. But he is tier 4. Ooh. 3-star Slark is going to be a beast. It's a 3-star 4 unit that's not that attainable. It's not something you go for regularly, but dang. This is going to dominate duos. If you can get a 3-star Slark, you melt faces. Just plain up 5. I mean, it's not actually stolen anymore. The target keeps their stats. But he's gonna ramp up now. It is interesting is his top tier, his 3-star health didn't change. So he is still going to be kind of squishy. But he is going to ramp up even faster than he already does at 3-star. Okay. Snapfire, Scattershot no longer triggers Refresher Orb. Good. Snapfire was broken with a Refresher. And by broken, I mean terrible, because it would trigger on the scatter shot and it would get wasted. And what you want it to do, you wanted it for the mortar-verse kisses, which is totally foreseeable, totally understandable. Um, it worked that way just because she was a very unique unit. Like her ability is the only one in the game so far that just triggers. There is no mana cost for it. The mana is for the dragon ability only, which is the opposite of most dragons. But okay, whatever. Sven is no longer an ace. Awesome. Okay, so yes, Knights lost Luna, but now Sven is a unit, and Sven as a unit is pretty damn good. It's interesting. I bet they pull Luna. I bet when they re-add Luna, she's the ace. I would think. Probably. But yeah, he doesn't dick your knights over now. You keep your defensive bonus. Of course, he doesn't make them hit harder either, but it's fine. That's a good change. I like it. Okay, so Viper is back. Apparently, the dragon or the Viper isn't actually scaled. He's Dragon Assassin again. Um, that's interesting. It's Assassin's only real unit that can tank. Um, it means that Assassins can pick up scaled for free. You just get Viper and you get Slark. That's that. I'll have to think about it because I'm gonna have a bounty hunter, and I might have the Nyx out there early. Um, but that's interesting. It actually makes it salvages my build. Because if I want to add the Snapfire in always for the four inventors, then I need a dragon. Viper's that dragon. He counts as one of my assassins. He counts as the dragon for Snapfire, and he counts as scaled, which means I always pick up the Slark. I can dig it. So my assassins being Bounty, Viper, Slark, and I mean, is there any other I would like to pick up? Both Ember and Quap, and Nyx. Like Nyx can be picked up as a potential to splash. Ember and Quap are like the one I want to pick up in case I don't roll good for this Slark. They're like my early add-in to get 3. Viper's just kind of core. The one downside to it is Viper is not a damage dealer assassin. He is a tank assassin. I will have to play around with that because Scrappies really don't need another tank. I mean, to be frank, it may just be one of those things you play with. Because Ember Spirit is very... Like, Ember Spirit can slap people, especially if you get a Battle Fury. So, okay, this is going to be fun. Weaver changed from Scrappy Elusive Insect to Scrappy Insect Hunter because elusives aren't there anymore. Okay, what this means is that I can pick up Hunters if I want to. Because I've got Weaver and I can have Sniper. Interesting. Is there anything else that synergizes well? Medusa for the scaled means I could drop either. I mean, presumably I'm not. I mean, I can't do assassins. Can you do Scrappy? So if I do six Scrappy plus an Inventor, that's 7. I need 3 assassins. No, I don't. I need 2 because Bounty's 1. Cutting a Scrappy somewhere, though. So if I don't pick up Alk, if I take the Sniper instead of the Alk, then I can have 6 Scrappies plus Snapfire is 7. The Bounty Hunter's in there, so I need two assassins. That's 9. And then I can pick up Medusa. Have Weaver, Sniper, Medusa, which means I could use either Viper for the dragon, and then I have a free assassin slot. It doesn't have to be Slark for the scaled. Faceless Void or Ember Spirit. Interesting. Okay. Cool. That's awesome. I feel like I like all of the unit changes. I'm not sure how I feel about Elusive getting removed. This is a weird way to implement this monthly jail system, but I mean they literally, you can tell they did this, like maybe this was their plan anyway, but they're kind of just knocking out, or they're killing two birds with one stone here. Right? They wanted to get rid of Elusive, so they did. And just because it was easy, most of those heroes got deleted or changed. And because a good chunk of them were actually deleted, that's like half their rotation. Okay, sure. Item changes. Pool has been refreshed with a host of brand new items. All globals have been removed. Woo! That's Aegis and the in-game stuff and embarrassment. Entire hero pool is now either equipment or contraptions. Cool. Removed items. That's a long list. Okay, Blightstone was garbage. Fine. Brooch was pretty bad. Embarrassment was global. Tranquils was pretty bad. Helm. They removed Helm? Rip Bloodseeker. Kind of Rip Slark. Aegis was removed. I like how they tagged Aegis as global, but not Embarrassment. Brooch of the Aggressor, fine. Murder Gong, good. Was bad. Poaching Knife was not great. They removed the Relic. They removed Assassin's Veil, which means you can't force target Underlords. Okay, they removed Bracers. Bracers was like your mini refresher. They removed Dawning, which was just bad. It was the cut healing in half. They removed Daedalus. And then Friends and Family is global. Assault Cuirass was solid. I didn't think Assault Cuirass was overpowered. Removed Higher Class Criminal, Desperate Measures, Expanded Roster. Those were all global. Okay. Tier 1. Big Time Contract. Got lowered again. Doesn't give you a health bonus. Okay, so Big Time Contract, I almost never got it. It doesn't do much if you're not running Bloodbound anyway. And it's one of those things where if you pick it up, like, if you're not running Bloodbound, it hurts to pick it up. Because you have to have another one. And just 2 of them doesn't feel good. Still have Chainmail, still have Claymore, still have Gloves. New is Headdress. AoE health regen. 20 health per second in an AoE. That's a much better version of Hood. Slight AoE version of Boots, Tranquil Boots, pretty much. So basically, you have Headdress, which is a aura of health regen, and Hood, which is slightly less health regen and magic resistance. Kaya. Kaya is a tier 1 item. Okay. 20% ability damage. Okay, that's cool. So it's just like, yeah, boost your ability. It makes sense because Kaya boosts spells. Sure. Morbid Mask, 20% lifesteal. Cool. Talisman Evasion is evasion because Elusive got removed. Okay. Vitality Booster nerfed because they nerfed health for everything. Was 1.5 or so half would be 250, half of that is 375. It's still a bad unit, or a bad item. It's a terrible item. They could have left that completely alone, and it still would have been a bad item, I think. Void Stone is mana per second instead of per attack. That'll be interesting. One of the big problems with the health change they made when they doubled it was mana essentially became useless. You only cared about mana as it applied to how fast do I get to my first spell. Because for most units, what happened was you got to your first spell, you cast it, and then you're on cooldown, and by the time you finish your cooldown, you've had full mana forever. So whether or not that is good, 10 mana a second is a lot, but it is just on one unit. I mean, it'll make it break the difference. Like, it's going to cut seconds, possibly, from your first cast. I don't know if it's going to change the second cast any. It'll just depend on how much the health changes things. Okay, tier 2. Cooldown, so you can reuse Arcane Boots. Good. Again, I don't know if it matters for the mana, but it felt terrible having an item that was just one and done. For what it was, anyway. Barricade is weaker. Blink Dagger stayed the same. Chrysalis, attack damage, 20% chance to hit crit for 200%. So they added the Chrysalis instead of the Daedalus. Fine, it's just a weaker version at tier 2. Desolator, target loses 5 armor for 5 seconds, kind of replaces Blightstone. Force Staff, okay, Hand of Midas, 30% attack speed, 30% chance of getting 1 gold. So it's the poaching knife. But it has a much better bonus. What is the bonus given to gloves? 25 attack speed. Yeah, I mean, Midas is good. It's tier 2, it's not tier 1, but it's a better version of gloves. And it's kind of like who needs attack speed, right? Sniper, Gyro, anything with high damage. Phantom Assassin if she was still in the game. Orb of Venom adds a DOD, 30 damage per second for 3 seconds. Nice. I presume it doesn't stack. Probably just refreshes. If it stacks, it could be a... I mean, most units attack between a 0.5 and a 1. If it's at 1, you're going to have 3 stacks going. That's 90 damage in 3 seconds. Really in 5 seconds, but... Okay. Stonehall Cloak, you get health for kills. Basically, it's Brawny, but on 1 unit for free. That could be really good. On units that just kill things. Lena is out, but Sniper's still in. It could be okay on Assassins. We'll make them tankier. It could be broken on Slark's tier 4, though. No. I don't think it's broken on Slark, but could be really good. Like, you basically, you need 1 match. It's just a good item on Slark, I think. Because basically, if you just having a Slark on the board, you give him that item, and if you go off 1 time, like you just need that 1 brilliant match where Slark does really, really, really good and kills 5 things and 250 health. And every time that happens, because of the way Slark works with Essence Shift, every time that happens, it's going to become more and more and more likely to happen. That could be really good. The other really cool thing is that your kills per unit are tracked no matter what anyway. So I imagine this is not for every unit they've killed since you got the item on them. It's just period. You can put like some kind of attack speed item on your unit, like for Slark, to help him ramp up faster. And then like after a few rounds, you look at him and he's got like 17 kills, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna put the Stonehold Cloak on him now. Put the gloves somewhere else, and it won't matter because he's got enough free health that he's always going to ramp up. That's really cool. Okay, Stonehall Pike, it's basically brawny, but for damage. That's kind of cool too. Same principle. You add health per kills, you add damage per kills, which both in turn make it more likely that you will get more kills. So your units just get stronger. These are early game investments that you say, I think I am going to make it late in the game, and my build is whatever. I'm going to have some early unit that's going to start playing early, and he's going to start getting kills early. Therefore, this picking up these items, they're not going to help you when you get them. But what they're going to do is they're going to have the potential to turn any unit you put them on into a monster late game. Cool. Vanguard nerf for the health. Fine. Tier 3. Battle Fury's unchanged. Blade Mail went up to 3 from 2. Cool. And I've been waiting for that to happen for a long time. The sad thing about Blade Mail is like it reflects damage before your detractors. So if you have armor, if you have damage resistance, the damage you would have taken is what gets reflected. And it always it felt a little bit bad because Blade Mail didn't actually give you armor, right? So I like that. I like that it helps out a little bit there. Yules, 5 mana per second, not bad. When a unit attacks the hero, it gets cycloned in the air, becoming invulnerable. I mean, it matches the Dota item. Fair. They don't take damage when they land, though. And it's not a lot of damage in Dota either, but that's interesting. I mean, so what you're doing is it's like a different force staff. But you are making them invulnerable, which means that they could hit you and then they can be invulnerable when your Tide ravages or things like that. On the flip side, they're invulnerable, which means they're not taking damage and they're not attacking. So they're not gaining mana either. This is really cool for Slarks. Like, if you're up against assassins and they have Slarks, I mean, it's just this is you saying, look, you're going to have to wait 2.5 seconds longer before you start ramping up. And that's huge against a Slark. Huge. Past that, I'm not totally sold, but it's a thing, kind of. It's only 10-second cooldown. If you are slightly tanky, you might get it off twice. I mean, anything that removes, it's basically a stun, but they're also invulnerable. I mean, it's okay. Mask of Madness nerfed, which is interesting. Mask of Madness is one of the few things that really made the Assassin Alliance go off. And the way it is like if you're running Assassins and you don't get Mask, it feels terrible because Slark and PA both really need it. I don't know if that fixes the problem though. Like it's just a straight nerf to Assassins because now it just feels it feels worse when you do get it. It doesn't hurt as much if you don't, but I don't know. There is another lifesteal item though now. That's important too. Mechanism health. Mechanism health increased. So everything has less health. That kills you for more now. Okay. Octarine is the same. Silver Edge, attack speed, health, and you break. Basically straight out of Dota. This works on Slark. It makes you a little tankier. You break them. Disable passives. And you get attack speed, which Slark wants. Cool. Skullbusher's the same. Target buddy health nerf. Added a festive hat. They gave him a Santa Claus hat. Awesome. Cool. I may buy a target, or I may pick up Target Buddy just to see it. That's kind of cool. Vlad's offering AOE damage, armor, lifesteal. Cool. Vlad's is really good. I like that. It's gonna be good on scrappies. The numbers are low though. Like it's not insane. I think there are definitely items I take over it, but it's not the worst thing here. It feels really good so far. Like these, I don't know if they're amazing. Like tier 1 still feels like it has a bunch of garbage in it, but tier 2 feels great now. Right? Like if I'm playing tier 2, I don't want the barricade. They're just not good. I hate Bleeding Dagger in my builds. Personally, 4 staff is still god awful. So there's 3 items that are not great. I don't think Orb is amazing. It is possible for you to draw on tier 2 and just get garbage, but I think it's less likely. And tier 3 just feels good now. Like you're still in that place if you kind of want the mask. And I don't know how I feel about Yules. But everything else in tier 3 feels really good. I like that. Okay, tier 4 Aeon Disc, 500 health. When you get below half, you become invulnerable, untargetable, and disarmed for 2 seconds. Works basically the way it does in Dota. You just get a nice little stop attacking me, please. You are disarmed, but you won't be. I assume that. I don't think disarming means you can't cast spells. It doesn't anywhere else, so. It should be silence only. It's interesting. It'll help units like Shadow Fiend and Coddle. It's basically this, you can't kill me. I'm going to get my long ass spell off. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's amazing. Definitely depends on what you're doing. The other thing is, it's one of the few things that shift attack focus. Like Tiny's Toss, Pudge Hook, Weaver Storm, Morphling, they all change who allies are targeting. So that's good. BKB gives damage. Awesome. BKB has never really felt like a great item. Once upon a time it was Slark, but yeah. Giving it attack damage now. 45 attack damage. It is the most damage. There's only 2 damage items, looks like. Oh, Scotty's there. Moonshard is attack speed. Okay, whatever. Butterfly. Again, okay, so this was my thing. So it's a little bit less damage than BKB. I'm going to go into the game and check this out. Ooh, look at that. Stonehall Pike looks sick. I think these are from Artifact. I know the cloak is. Okay. So here's your butterfly. 35. It's less damage than BKB. I mean, I guess that's it. Let's compare it to Battle Fury. So it's the same damage as Battle Fury. $25. It's more damage than Basher. Okay, I was not fully appreciating those numbers. It's not bad. Again, good on Assassins. Anytime you say you can't hit me now, it's good. Dagon changed to refreshable, or I mean, time limit, 12 seconds. I forget how it works. I think it's enemy health or something like that. Yeah, so it triggers as soon as somebody gets below 50% health, does its damage. So it's half health, it does damage, and then 12 seconds? Yeah. You're probably going to get Dagon off twice a fight unless it's a stomp. They effectively doubled its damage after having health. Dagon's probably pretty good now. It is a one-off. It is very focused. But it could be good. Fusel Blade turns somebody into Anti-Mage. I loved Anti-Mage. I love his ability. Part of why he falls off is because he was so weak. Mana, like draining mana is insanely powerful. This could be a really good item. Having said that, it could also feel really bad. 20 damage per hit. 20 mana per hit. If you attack once a second, you're draining 20 mana a second. I mean, it's effectively anti-mage, I think. It's not bad. Yeah, okay. Healing Ward went to tier 4. Heals more per second and health increased. I guess its health increased. Healing Ward was pretty bad. Like sometimes it felt really good. But they raised it a tier. I feel like they could have just raised it. I mean, everything has less health too, though. I don't know. Refresher Orb doesn't benefit allies. So what it used to do was any allies near you, like their cooldown got lowered a little bit when it triggered, and they gained mana, I think. Doesn't do that anymore. So that would make it worse on techies, but he's gone. It's just worse in mages, pretty much. That's worse, period, but really hurts mages. I think hurts liches, hurts gyros. Okay, Scythe gives you mana per second, but it doesn't hex them as long. Okay, it's still decent. Tier 5 Aegis. Equipped hero will resurrect with half their health 5 seconds after dying, once per battle. A tier 5 item? I mean, Io is still in the game, right? Half health, once per battle. So that, I mean, I don't know. In general, I think tier 5 items are, unless you have more than one to pick from, like if you get your items and you have a bunch of 4s and a 5, you pretty much always grab the 5, but I don't know. I wonder also if everything dies, do you still come back? Hypothetically, the answer to that question doesn't matter, because if everything of yours dies and you have a unit come back, you probably just get focused down by everything on the enemy's board that's left. So it probably doesn't matter, but there will be those scenarios where you're 1v1ing and the only thing left is, or even in scenarios where there's several enemy units but they're all low. If the battle just ends because you have no more units, that really sucks. Like, basically the item becomes worthless at that point. Okay. Horn of the Alpha, summon a Thunderhide, okay. And there's its stats. This doesn't answer the question about if So the other thing here is I can't look at their stats anymore. If I'm going to go ahead and say this right now, if the Thunderhide still has its Mega Warlock ability, then attack range is 4, attack rate is 1 to 150. Everything. The problem is I don't know what the stats were before. It's saying that it does 100 to 150 damage. Feels like it is not the same Thunderhide. Because 150 damage is a tenth of Broodmother's health. That's I think that's got to be weaker. Still though, if it still does have the mega, because I think that's what it's called, like mega warlocks or something like that. The heal percentage was insane. It was like something like 300% of the day. I mean, I can't remember. I don't even know if I want to say it was 300. I feel like it was an insane number. Which means, I mean, it's healing for 450 health or something like that. I don't know. That'll be fun. Radiance makes people miss now. Awesome. That's cool. 17% chance. It's a straight buff. A lot of people didn't like Radiance, but I kind of liked it. Interesting. Okay, Satanic. Get a bunch of health. When you're below 30, gain 200% lifesteal for 3 seconds. That could be interesting with like Bloodseeker. It's bonkers. I don't actually know if it's amazing on Slark. The thing about that is like you're saying, how soon does Slark get targeted? And it doesn't give you attack speed. It's one of those things where it's like on Slark, if you already have ramped up, then Satanic probably means you win the fight. If you have Satanic on Slark, you already ranked up your attack speed. They're going to get you below 30, and you're going to heal the full instantly. And you're still going to be ramped up. I don't know. Ooh, Tombstone went to 5. Okay. Tombstone was good. I hated playing against it, so I understand. Fine. Vestures of the Tyrants. Allies within one cell can't die until the equipped hero dies. So it's basically Helm of the Undying and an AoE. Ooh, boy. Is that abusable? So whatever you put it on, you want it to not be the main focus of attack damage. Like you kind of want this to be like a second row unit so that your front line can never die until ranged or AoE damage kills this guy. This is so good on a Necrophos that it's not even funny. The big question there is, does it work like Helm did? If your ally should have died, it keeps them alive. Does it like mark them? So even if they heal, they don't stay alive? That's the key. If they die no matter what, like if it's like, oh, I should have died, but I'm going to keep attacking until that other dude dies, and the enemy stop fighting them, then it's a good item. If they don't, if they like keep their attack focus and everything like that, it's broken. Straight up, just game-endingly broken. Awesome. Okay, so I think I'm going to refrain from judging before I play anymore. I'm a little... I feel a lot better now that I've gone through everything that I did when I read their little spoiler announcement here. It sounds good. I want to play now. I've been grinding because I thought the season was going to end. Apparently, it didn't. Can I refresh this quest here? This is a bug. This bug has been here forever. I think I have to reset the game to get that fixed. But I was grinding for metals. Underlords? Oh, here you go, yeah. So for the victory, it's the same, gone, and the same. Crew is the same, economy is the same. This is the one I was worried about. Alliances, win 1,000 rounds with one or more contraptions. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that was the one I was worried about. I want this third fist thing. The others, I don't care. I'm going to try to grind them. But I think I have time now, because I think Season 1 will only happen with Eno. I was really worried they were going to change that. And they took out global items, so it was like impossible to get. But I feel like that's easier. Like, you just have to have a contraption and then win the round. So, we go to items. And then we say resort to type. Offensive, defensive, support. Oh, interesting. I wonder if this was here before. I never noticed that you could do, like, style. Contraptions. So, barricade. So barricade, target buddy, healing ward, and tombstone. If I'm grinding against bots, I think I just pick the barricade. And just say, well, if I win the round, I win the round. For sure. Target buddies might not be bad, but... Okay. I feel good. Just from reading, I feel like I feel like maybe they didn't gut the things I loved. I have an unpopular opinion about the Underlords being first or around 10. So I mean I'm okay with it. I like to play a more construction game, and I realize that it is not meant to be a construction game, or that is the majority opinion. So I'm okay with this, and it feels like that I was kind of worried about the changes on them, but after reading through them, it feels good. I do still have the same balance worries I had. And you know, another problem is like you're picking the Underlord at 10, and there's no creep rounds. So this is 10 rounds you've taken damage. It will bring back interesting like open fording things and stuff though, because you're not going to have your Underlord to carry you early. And that kind of counters the point. I was thinking about their ultimates going off in like round 2 or 3 won't happen because you don't have an Underlord. Okay, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I feel better than when I first read it. Like when I was reading the spoilers, I was kind of starting to get disheartened. But it sounds good. I'm definitely gonna have to play it out. Okay, I feel good about it. Okay. So having said that, I was thinking just a second ago. I may break this down. I may go through and liberally edit this thing and make like 3 or 4 videos out of it, so it's not just a freaking hour, because I don't think anybody's gonna watch it. So I may just make a cut it between topics and call it good. I do have 5 games, I think, recorded on my computer waiting to be edited. So I will play a game with Jewel with the new stuff, and I'll get that uploaded hopefully sometime this week. But I will also sprinkle, I will go back and upload those other 5 videos. I'll just tag them so that there's like pre-patch or something. But there you go. I'm going to make a cut right here, and I'm going to switch to over recording by speaker and see if I can hear Jules' voice and record it that way. If not, I'll just dub it into the video. because he has a really cool voice. I'm kind of impressed by his voice acting. He's not my little Irish fire pixie here, but I'm okay with it. Let's actually see how he looks in the game. I feel like that's it. They need to fix that. It's like because he's turning around when you click on him. Oh, I want to pick him. Huh. That's interesting. I wonder if it's random when you restart the game. I don't know. Okay, so there's that. I was already planning to sit the tournament, both of my league game and my tournament game out this week. I've been grinding for the medals, and I just didn't. I don't feel like I am going to get enough playtime in before the tournament, so I don't think I'm going to run it. I'll probably run it next week, though. I'm kind of hopeful. This should have a massive spike in player. And when I say massive, I mean, we'll go back above 10,000 for a little bit. It sounds like they addressed a lot of common quote-unquote problems. But, and don't get me wrong, I'm very defensive of this game. I hate when I hear people say it's just dead, it's broken, it's terrible. Because it's not. I think it's a very awesome game. But I am also aware that my happiness with it was not the norm. So I hope this really kind of revitalizes it. I hope that Valve kind of picks up the pace a little bit. Like, I realize it's big, and I don't want them to release bad content for the game because that'll be worse. But I hope that this is something that can potentially bring the game back a little bit. So we'll see. All right, I'm going to cut this and see if I can get Jules' new voice line. If I can, I'll just dub it in. But either way, I will see you guys. I will get some games played. I'll get them uploaded as quickly as I can. Otherwise, have a good day, good night, whatever time it is when you're listening to this. Probably a Merry Christmas. I probably won't have another state of the stream or state of the game patch note kind of discussion for a while. No vlogs, so Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to anybody watching, and I thank you. I appreciate if you actually care. This is my crack, right? I love patch notes. I love digging into this hypothetical stuff. So if you watch this, I'm appreciative. Please leave me a like, leave me a subscribe, whatever. I've got a couple games from a tournament. I'm gonna upload those. I did a cool, I had a challenge build thing. I had a couple of my friends just come up with an Underlord build, and I just ran it. So those are the videos that I'm going to be uploading that are old. But I'll try to get some new content too. So, all right. Thank you. See ya.